That's a great impression. Great. You bring Rob up. Rob, do you hear that?
Yes.
Well, what? Rob, say hi to Paul.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Rob, you bastard. Rob, don't be upset. 99 out of 100 is not bad. Bite me.
If your radio like sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
Hey, Paul.
Yes, I'm bad.
You went... Jesus. Paul.
Yes.
You want to...
It's the New York Knicks versus the New York Dominatrix.
You want a web TV terminal from Sony?
I would love to have that because from now on I will be watching TV instead of broadcasting on it.
In the morning, Sports Radio 570 WTEM.
I think she's a man.
I don't want to hear from Dennis Rodman. All right. I don't want to hear from Dennis Rodman. I don't want to hear from Howard Stern. I don't want to hear from Marv Albert. I don't want to hear from the nanny. I don't want to hear from any of these people. I want them to go away.
Okay.
I don't want to hear from any of them. I want them to shut up. I want John Gibson to stop talking about them. I want Olbermann to get his show straightened out. I want it to all end.
Why don't you have him on and give him advice?
Who?
Olbermann.
You know, we do need to get Keith Olbermann on.
With the Joint Chiefs, I have come to the conclusion I might as well have been talking with the Chiefs Joint, Bill Clinton's bent bone, for all that panel of morons had to offer. So it quickly became apparent that it would fall to me again to devise a plan for handling Saddam, just as I did when I drew up Operation Desert Storm and turned it over to the colored boy and the fat man to implement. General Powell and his bloated functionary, General Schwarzkopf.
Fine.
That time we hit them head on, had them surrendering in their undershorts. What did we do wrong? We failed to get Saddam. My fault. Won't happen again. This time, before the son of a bitch can invade anything, we're taking him out. Preemptive strike. Totally covert operation, which I'll describe to you now. Private, give me a cruise missile moment on that light bank up there and roll out the overhead projector. Ready? Launch. Smart bomb. Stupid idea. Sorry. We'll tend to the dead and wounded in a moment. Now then, give me slide A. Anybody identify?
Sir, that's aforementioned Iraqi strongman Saddam Hussein, sir.
Correct. Slide B. Identify.
Sir, that's a common barnyard goat, sir.
Right again. All right. Slide C. Somebody else this time. Yes, you over there. Identify.
Sir, that's Louise Woodward, the English au pair, sir.
And secret weapon. Correct, Private?
Sir, the private doesn't understand, sir.
That's because the private is an idiot, sir. Now then, what we will do, people, will be to combine the three tactical elements I've just shown you, here, and here, into a single mission that I have codenamed Operation Desert Shake.
Sir, like shake your money?
No, like shake your mama. I am proposing, people, that we dress up Louise Woodward in, appropriately, a nanny goat suit, assuring her automatic passage into the Iraqi presidential palace, and send her over there to shake the living out of Saddam. That's what I'm proposing as the best way of handling this dilemma without turning world opinion against us. Let Louise do it. Grab the bastard by the burnous and just shake the living out of him. Maybe give him a couple of noggin knocks off the side of one of his gilded bathtubs or something. And the problem. Despot terminated, au pair liberated. Because as we've seen, there isn't a judge on the planet who's going to put Louise Woodward away for killing anything. Thank you for your attention. That is all.
I'm just a beta. They all want me, they can't get me. Hey, Baba Clinton, why don't you fight me? Remove me, can't stop me. I gotta go to make love with you. East to the east, you could not be profana. It's a camel hopping, Eden, not a Sarah Mosera. Doing the dance that they call a Racarena. Hey, Racarena. Saddam Hussein is an insane dictator. Tries to throw his weight around, but he's just a second rater. Soon where he stands, there will only be a crater. Hey, Racarena. No, I'm not worried about your Baba. He don't think that I mean business. I don't like him, couldn't stand him. And his wife, well, now that's one woman who should be wearing a veil. Maybe the great Satan can show her a thing or two about what it is to be subservient. East in the east, you could not be profana. It's a camel hopping Eden or a Sarah Hussein. Doing the dance that they call a Racarena. Hey, Racarena. Saddam Hussein is an insane dictator. Tries to throw his weight around, but he's just a second rater. Soon where he stands, there will only be a crater. Hey, Racarena. Hey, you know what my favorite Just wait until you start paying $15 a gallon for gas. Come and get me, my name's Saddam Hussein, and I can make it any better. I big cheese on your knees, and I'll do what I damn well please. He's too good not be prophetic. He's a camel humping, he didn't know that Saddam Hussein. Doing the dance that they call a Macarena. Hey, Macarena. Saddam Hussein is an insane dictator. Tries to throw his weight around, but he's just a second rater. Soon where he stands, there will only be a crater. Hey, Macarena.
It's the morning program. Charles is here, and so is the American designer Joseph Abood, who does design a gorgeous line of men's and women's clothes that you see advertised in all of the major magazines. And does design for the Auto Body Express these gorgeous neckties, and there are about 30 various ones, and they're just beautiful ties. And has just designed these new bathrobes. Did you come up with this line, make a splash poolside? Or in the privacy of your own bathroom? Is that you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But these bathrobes they come down like to your ankles.
Fabulous.
And there's terry velour in ivory, navy, and plum, and they're gorgeous. They feel
Filled with the events that alter and illuminate our times and induce in Michael Eisner peptic ulceration of the lining of the stomach. Yes, it's over. The great Civil War pitting the chief executive officer of the far-flung Disney empire, Mr. Eisner, against his one-time top lieutenant, Jeffrey Katzenberg. Now one leg of the tripod supporting a slapped-together direct-to-video backroom entertainment enterprise called DreamWorks SKG.
Yeah.
S for Steven Spielberg, K for Katzenberg, and G for either David Geffen or God Awful. Their collaborative creative efforts to date were to be judged. In brief, there is a truce. Eisner's ex-studio boss, Katzenberg, gnawed away at his former associate so long, so unremittingly, and so annoyingly that Eisner finally caved in like the proverbial house of cards and agreed to pay the pest a minimum of $100 million to pry him off his back, thus resolving a spectacularly bitter $250 million bonus dispute before he could land in court next week. Pity. One positively salivates at the images we'll now never see. Jeffrey jerking spasmodically at the plaintiff's table, as Eisner notes short people often have Napoleonic complexes. And then Eisner jamming a nitroglycerin pill beneath his tongue, as Katzenberg recalls how he single-handedly pulled Disney's film division out of the mire of Michael's ineptitude. And so, who emerges on top of this high-stakes pile of ego stink? In the opinion of this old, encrusted, crusading chronicler of crises, it is, congratulations, Jeff. You steamrolled Mouseman Mike, turned him into a rodent roll, took him for $100 million minimum, picked off 40 of his top animation artists, and dragged him face down through the mortification of the humiliating payoff Eisner had to cough up for Michael Ovitz when he bounced him from the Disney hierarchy. Evilly and gleefully, Jeffrey grabbed Michael you-know-where and squeezed by refusing to settle his differences with the mouse maven for any less than the $90 million Ovitz swaggered away with. And so, what's it all about? Money? Absolutely not. Katzenberg could buy Microsoft with the money he spills in the back seats of taxicabs. It's about who can whip it out in a 25-knot wind, let fly, and not have any blow back on him, if you get my drift. And Jeff has proved that, yes, he's short, but not in all departments. And Michael, while tall, is saddled with a wee Willy Wonka weenie, a dribbler in a fight with a water cannon.
Yeah.
The Eisner business objective, beat everybody else. The Katzenberg business objective, beat Eisner. And it appears that that's the DreamWorks flag planted firmly in the mouse's butt. Attaboy, Jeff. And may your next animated venture be titled 101 Million Denominations. For me to watch this swolder cronkite, thank you and good night.
Well, boy, it just sure did shake out that way, didn't it?
It certainly did, man. That little annoying little shrimp, Katzenberg. Ego blow to the mouse man.
Gotta be just man.
Beside himself.
Doesn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Skulking in so nobody can see him and they're going into the office.
and a hideously ugly situation. And it's not about, boy, it really isn't about the money at all. It has nothing to do with anything.
This was
It might be a little bit for Katzenberg, probably a little bit for him. But it's
macho deal.
Yeah. So I had to explain to these old blue-haired Disney stockholders that that payoff to Ovitz, which nobody understood.
$90 million, and then Katzenberg holding them up, refusing anything less than Mr. Ovitz got.
Yeah.
So So now they got to explain that to the stockholders.
Yeah.
Who aren't over the Ovitz deal.
No, they're still steaming about that.
And here's another $100 million minimum out.
Yeah. And
I love it.
I don't know. It appears now that we're rid of Marv for a while.
Yeah, this apparently was it. The Today Show, 2020, Letterman, Larry King, Today Show, and out, I guess. I guess it covered the demographics they were after, I meant.
And, he started out by lying to his wife, and he's lied to everybody on the planet. He's lied to you and me and everybody else who's watched any of this stuff. And it was just one little small example of what a disingenuous little schmuck he is, panty-wearing, backbiting rughead, is on Larry King. Larry asked him, why are you doing this? And Marv, and again, it's not to be critical, but Marv, nobody ever accused Marv of being very bright. So we all know that. But then Marv made the observation that he was appearing on these programs because they wanted to appeal to different demographics.
Yep.
Now, why you would say that? Clearly, that's a strategy that was mapped out by a scumbunny PR agent of his, Howard Rubenstein, and some other folks. But it just appears to be so contrived.
And such a poor choice of words.
And a hideously inappropriate choice of words.
Why would you say, well, I want to get my story out to everybody.
Why not say that?
Something.
And then in almost the next breath, he says that the reason he's going on Letterman and on the Today Show is because he felt he owed it to Letterman, because Letterman, admirably, was loyal to him, and that because he had worked for NBC for so many years, he felt that he couldn't refuse them.
Yeah.
Well, which is it? Are we trying to appeal to all demographics?
Gets that Letterman audience.
Or are we trying to... that's just one example. And he got cut slack by everybody. So, what was the point of having him on? He wouldn't come on here and answer any questions because he's gutless. As long as he wants to address these issues, and he wants to talk lamely about this curious phase he went through, which is just absurd to describe it that way, then why didn't somebody ask him when that was, how long it was, what it entailed, all of that? Just as one example.
And is his curiosity satisfied now?
Why wasn't... Yes, that would have been the obvious question. That would have been an obvious question.
Yeah.
When he and Roy Black tried to tell Larry King, and Larry was incredulous about it as well, but tried to tell him that, because Larry couldn't understand that if you were going to extort somebody, why you'd go to hospital and call the police. And Roy and Marv almost leaped out of their seats, exclaiming to Larry that, well, that was just it. That was the plan, That was the way they were going to extort Marv, charge him with aggravated sodomy and a sexual assault and battery, and then know ahead of time that he was going to get off, so that then you could then initiate a civil trial or whatever, and in that manner extort money from him.
Yeah.
Such a bizarre...
Yeah, that's it.
Kind of like John Lovitz, on the Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
just kind of add... that's a ticket. So that was absurd and bizarre, and he certainly should have been challenged when he talked about how he and Heather got together, and that for all intents and purposes his marriage was over to old Banaka when Banaka didn't know that, his wife.
Banaka?
Or whatever. She wasn't aware of that at the time, Someone said yesterday. And Heather Faulkner's husband, who was an assistant coach for the Jets and is now, I think, with the 49ers or somebody, he was all over the tabloids here in New York, explaining that was not the case, that she was cheating on him with Marv, and then when they were confronted with it, they both denied it.
Absolutely.
Fat hatchet-faced moose ass. And panty-wearing, backbiting rughead. Two lying weasels. Challenged on none of those things.
I got to use that.
It's a quarter till the hour. Breed decided not to tell me or anyone else. He's decided to do play-by-play for the new WNBA, which seems to me to be a stupid idea, but
How about a smart career decision?
No, it's not.
Jumping on that bandwagon.
It's a dumb career decision.
Catapult to the number one sport in America.
Not the first you've made.
A bunch of sweaty skanks.
The last.
Trying to be men.
Yeah, so be quiet, Bernard. We don't need your input into this.
Babes running up and down the court.
Yeah, that'll be
sweating.
Right.
Yeah, they all look like Leon Spinks.
You find
Not babes necessary. No Tyra Banks out there.
That will be fine.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
How about Rebecca Lobo? She's pretty hot out.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
She's like Janet Reno minus 20 years.
Isn't she?
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
The National Beast Association.
At ease, as you were, maggots. All right, listen up. I have come up with a plan for nullifying our ongoing problem with the president of Iraq, Saddam Hussein. After urgent consultations with the Joint Chiefs, I have come to the conclusion I might as well have been talking with the Chiefs Joint, Bill Clinton's bent bone, for all that panel of morons had to offer. So it quickly became apparent that it would fall to me again to devise a plan for handling Saddam, just as I did when I drew up Operation Desert Storm and turned it over to the colored boy and the fat man to implement, General Powell and his bloated functionary, General Schwarzkopf.
Be fine.
That time we hit them head on, had them surrendering in their undershorts. What did we do wrong? We failed to get Saddam. My fault. Won't happen again. This time, before the son of a bitch can invade anything, we're taking him out. Preemptive strike. Totally covert operation, which I'll describe to you now. Rabbit, give me a cruise missile moment on that light bank up there and roll out the overhead projector. Ready? Launch. Smart bomb, stupid idea. Sorry. We'll tend to the dead and wounded in a moment. Now then, give me slide A. Anybody identify?
Sir, that's aforementioned Iraqi strongman Saddam Hussein, sir.
Correct. Slide B. Identify.
Sir, that's a common barnyard goat, sir.
Right again. All right. Slide C. Somebody else this time. Yes, you over there. Identify.
Sir, that's Louise Woodward, the English au pair, sir.
And secret weapon. Correct, Private?
Sir, the private doesn't understand, sir.
That's because the private is an idiot, sir. Now then, what we will do, people, will be to combine the three tactical elements I've just shown you, here, here, and here, into a single mission that I have codenamed Operation Desert Shake.
Sir, like shake your money?
No, like shake your mama. I am proposing, people, that we dress up Louise Woodward in, appropriately, a nanny goat suit, assuring her automatic passage into the Iraqi presidential palace, and send her over there to shake the living out of Saddam. That's what I'm proposing as the best way of handling this dilemma without turning world opinion against us. Let Louise do it. Grab the bastard by the burnoose and just shake the living out of him. Maybe give him a couple of noggin knocks off the side of one of his gilded bathtubs or something. And the problem. Despot terminated, au pair liberated. Because as we've seen, there isn't a judge on the planet who's going to put Louise Woodward away for killing anything. Thank you for your attention. That is all.
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
You by your local Chrysler and Plymouth dealers. Are you interested in a 6'10" Cy Young Award winner? No. Well, takes care of that.
No, yeah, you are.
Yeah. Well, Randy Johnson, here's a guy, won it 2 years ago, won 20 last year, and the Seattle Mariners say, wait a minute, we don't want to extend your contract. So, he says, if you're not going to do that, trade me and I'll play elsewhere. Could be, and could be a playoff for some team, like the Yankees or Mets. National League MVP, Larry Walker of the Rockies, hit 366, 39 homers, 130 RBIs, becomes the first Canadian-born player ever to win the MVP. In overtime, the Washington Wizards beat the Wolves 91-88. Here's the I-Man's new favorite play-by-play man, Kevin Harlan.
Marbury by midcourt, through the arc to the baseline, sets, fadeaway jump shot. Oh, baby, what a play! We are tied at 88.
Yeah, that guy's great. I like him.
Good.
Great enthusiasm. Yeah. All right. Stephon Marbury with 26, but the Wizards win, proving once again.
Oh, no.
You can't beat the Wiz.
No,
and here's your chance, I-Man.
Yep.
You always wanted to own a team. Here it is. For the first time in almost 50 years, you can buy stock in the Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
400,000 shares available for $200 a share. 80 million. Come on, I-Man, you and Fred. That's it. And if you think Keith Olbermann, who keeps bombing his former employer,
ESPN didn't burn his bridges. You lose. Well, Imus in the Morning Sports. This is Warner Wolf. By Playman, Wolves announcer Kevin Harlan.
On punch into Davis, leans, layup, rejected inside by Weber. Rejected by Weber. He has a one-man gauntlet inside for Washington. Unbelievable.
Chris Webber, 22 points, 17 boards.
I like when he does that ooga booga thing, don't you?
Lakers beat the Spurs in overtime, 109-100. Shaq at 34.
It's been bad out here, do you mind?
No.
Found out something interesting about it.
What?
When the back seats folded down,
Right.
you can get 9 bales of hay in it. But I also figured out something else.
Yeah.
That when you're in a Jeep with 9 bales of hay and it's dry,
Yeah.
don't smoke.
You're not supposed to be smoking in my Jeep anyway.
I don't. Actually, honestly, I don't smoke in it.
Okay.
I mean,
I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo that I got from Quality Jeep in Albuquerque.
and I'm trying to trade it in on one of those 5.9 ones, but I want to make the trade with no money involved. Is that okay with you if I can make this trade?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, what are your football picks? Sponsored by the Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer, although you could go to any Jeep dealer and we'd be just as happy if you bought a Jeep. You could go to Quality Jeep in Albuquerque and buy one. Hey, did you hear about the big deal down at Pat Golf in El Paso this weekend?
No, I didn't.
You buy a big screen TV, he'll give you a Jeep.
Oh, yeah. Well, he does that once a month, you know. Yeah.
So Pat Golf with 400 brand new Jeeps there in the parking lot at the store in El Paso, and a couple hundred at the store in Las Cruces. And if you'll just go in and buy any big screen TV, Pat will give you the title of a new Jeep.
And it's no money down on the TV.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So what are your picks?
I got the Giants over Arizona.
You like that pick,
Yeah.
Warner? Okay.
Now,
Pittsburgh over Cincinnati.
What, Warner?
no points involved here, right?
Nah, because what's the point?
Straight up.
huh?
No, what's straight up?
Okay.
But the points we don't care about. We care about who wins. You don't go to the Super Bowl by covering a point spread. You go to the Super Bowl by winning the game.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Fred, are you picking the Packers over the Colts?
Yes, I am.
Well.
But I'm not even picking that game because it's too easy.
Yeah, but so would everybody in the world, right?
Yeah.
That's why we have the points
There you
spread.
go. Yeah, but we don't care
because
about that.
nobody would touch that game.
But we don't care about that. All we care, we're picking the teams based on whether they win or lose and qualify to get into the playoffs and subsequently wind up in the Super Bowl. You do not get to the Super Bowl if you could cover the point spread every week and have a losing record, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Sure. Absolutely.
And you're not going to get in the playoffs and not
That's
lose.
right.
That is a very good point, I man.
Yeah.
A very good point.
Well put. Fred, do you mind if I blow my nose while you're...
All right, go ahead, Fred.
I have, I'll start over.
All right.
I have the Giants over Arizona.
All right.
Pittsburgh over Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Denver over Kansas City.
Yeah.
Jacksonville over Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay over New England.
Yeah. Tampa Bay over New England.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dallas over Washington.
Well, I don't know. All right.
And Jets over Chicago.
Well, that's pretty easy.
And Miami over Buffalo. Which could be a good game. That's a big game to go either way.
I don't know if the Jets is the Jets an easy game over Chicago?
3-point favorite because the Bears, except for the Falcons, have given up more points than any team in the National Conference.
Yeah.
They have no defense at all.
And Foley's going to start again?
Foley will start. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want the Jets to win, but we don't know.
Yeah, they should win that game. It is in Chicago, though.
The Giants over who now?
Arizona.
Okay.
Another tough game, although it's at the Meadowlands.
So we have the Giants over Arizona. Well, we know what they are. All right, Fred, thanks. I love you.
All right, I love you, Bob.
19 till the hour. Fred Imus here.
Everybody in Washington's all abuzz over Bob Dole's supposed plastic surgery. Boy, does that get me steamed. I just can't understand how it worked out that I'm the lame duck and he's the one getting all the attention. I had some cosmetic work done just a couple of weeks ago, but nobody made a big deal about that. Of course, where I had it isn't quite as noticeable, but I can guarantee you it was a much more involved deal than Bob's. I mean, giving your upper chassis a tuck and roll job is one thing. It's quite another to have your undercarriage put on a frame straightener. I'm still disappointed that doctors didn't put me in a cast. Sure would have been great getting Sharon Stone to sign it. Love, Bubba.
Imus in the morning.
even though you sat right there in that very seat the other night and gave Marv Albert that hand job. Did you ever think about challenging one of your loser guests on something? Anything?
Well.
Did you? Answer me, Four Eyes. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Now then, just how stupid do we look on this Saddam Hussein deal anyway? Stupider than a blindfolded mule sniffing a Jenny without a compass. And don't ask me what that means. Couldn't tell you if I knew. But you get my point.
Sure.
Everything is wrong. First off, got this fat boy out of New Mexico playing ambassador, saying that this Mother Goose resolution the Security Council wrote has teeth in it. Pathetic. And wouldn't it just figure that anything Bill Richardson would come up with would have some sort of mouth reference? Parole to ambassador boy, either get out of the gravy boat or roll for a change, you fat walrus. And then second off, back here in 1991, when that Baghdad goat-humping, baby-gassing bastard started strutting around, we had us a man at the White House, a president who'd been a World War II dive bomber. Now, all we got's a Vietnam-dodging muff diver. It's just sad.
Well.
We look like the world village idiot, leaning on the UN and its Little Miss Muffet, you better get off my tuffet warning statement, while Saddam's over there yanking more chains than a five-armed tester in a toilet factory. Did you see what we threatened him with, Larry? Did you? Hello?
Yes.
Threatened to cancel their damn airline tickets. Well, what's next? We gonna take away their bus transfers? Jesus. And it was your friend there, that Donald Trump fella, who wrote the book, The Art of the Comeback? Hell, he's an amateur, Larry. Art of the Comeback had plainly already been written by Saddam. Take your sanctions and shove them, Hussein. And now, not only have we not read him the riot act, he's over there planting his boot in the butts of American boys on the inspection teams, drop-kicking them out of the country. It's just pitiful. The way Clinton's handling all this makes that, what'd you call him, that panty-wearing, backbiting, rug-headed Marv Albert look like Mensa material by comparison. Say, now, what was Marv telling Katie Couric the other day? That he was out at a diesel dyke dive with some guy named Clyde in a strapless gown, sitting on a flipped-over bar stool singing, I Feel Pretty? Parole to Marv, die, and take that hatchet-faced, moose-assed, hay-eating bimbo with you. Makes you wonder, Larry, who's humiliated all of us more, Saddam Hussein or Marv Albert? Soundbite.
Yeah.
Either one of them boys, nothing but a bum. One with a scud, the other just scum. That's how I look at it, Larry. Much obliged for having me on your show.
Imus and News Time is almost 8 minutes after the hour. Coming up here in just a little bit, General George S. Patton with some thoughts on Saddam Hussein, and also Walter Cronkite on a resolution of the Eisner. Katzenberg threatened a lawsuit, well, it was a lawsuit, but threatened court trial that now has been postponed, put off. Because of the settlement.
Denied it.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Denied the spectacle of the big Jew and the little Jew going at each other.
Exactly.
So, well, it was going to be a very ugly situation. Well, it had to be reduced to designating them as a big Jew and a little Jew, but that was an unfortunate characterization of what, in fact, is the case. But
Dragged down all sorts of dirty laundry and... No, we don't get
Who
that.
would have thought that Katzenberg would have come up with the biggest weenie in this one?
Yeah, he did, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Just a humiliating slap in the face to Michael Eisner.
Oh, just beat him like a rug. Great.
I already had to pay off old Ovitz nearly $100 million when he left. And because they hired Michael Ovitz, and then Eisner did, and then decided not to let him do anything.
So move around the potted plants and stuff. And
you don't want somebody there who is as smart as you are, so...
Oops.
And I guess Eisner realized that when he got him over there, and said, well, okay, get out. So, well, I'm a big Ovitz fan, so... And a big Katzenberg fan, so I'm very happy that Jeffrey now can stop whining.
Yeah.
And he and Marilyn sitting around the mansion there, blubbering into their Chateau Brion, or whatever the hell it is they got going on. Anyway, it's time now for the national news.
Exactly right. Did you just see him sitting around there just gnashing their teeth?
Oh, absolutely. Not even able to enjoy what they've got.
No, pulling out his remaining hair. And
Oh, absolutely. Just beyond themselves.
Just for how long now it's been going on?
You know, Katzenberg was whining about suggesting that I had taken Eisner's side. Like that should be a consideration.
Yeah. And
that he should even be concerned about which side some nitwit on the radio took.
But I don't know how he got that.
Well, early on, we did side with Eisner, don't you remember?
Well, yeah, but there was an assessment of both positions.
Yes,
Whose was more valid.
And then we determined that Disney had screwed Katzenberg, and that he was entitled to the money.
Yeah.
They should have been given to him.
It's in the language of the...
And by the way, Ovitz, here's the thing. Ovitz had brokered a deal when he was there to settle this thing with Katzenberg. If it had just let Ovitz do this, they could have solved that deal, avoided all these problems with the stock. Mike Keenan, who's coached the Rangers, Flyers, and Blackhawks to the Stanley Cup Finals and the Blues, is the new head coach of the Vancouver Canucks. NBA in overtime, the Washington Wizards win again. They beat the Wolves 91-88. I-Man's favorite play-by-play man, Wolves' Kevin Harlan.
Strickland down the sideline, above the arc. Marbury guarding. A fake right, a dribble left, bottom half of the circle. Jump shot, good! Strickland over Marbury with a killer crossover from right to left, and the Wizards lead it 90-88.
You can't beat the Wiz.
No, you can't.
No. Is there a quarterback in the house? I don't know. The winless Colts 0-10 with 6 to go. First, they lost Jim Harbaugh, who delivered that phantom punch at Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
Right? Then they lost Harbaugh's backup, Paul Justin, dislocated middle finger. Last week, funny you should ask, they started third-string quarterback Kelly Holcomb, broke his wrist. And they were ready to start 32-year-old CFL journeyman Kerwin Bell against the Packers Sunday.
Where's he been?
Where's he been?
No, forget it. I don't want to know.
Shut up, Lou.
But now they're going back to Justin. But here's the question.
Yeah.
If that's the case, why is Green Bay only a 12.5-point favorite over 0-10 Colts?
Why?
Why?
I don't know.
Because so far this year, if you took the home team when they were 7.5-point underdog or more, you won. Absolutely.
8
out of 9 times.
There's your answer. All right.
Yeah, right there. Redskin defensive end Sean Gilbert, who said he received a revelation from God, stating that God told him he should ask for $5 million a year when the Redskins were offering $3.6 million, will sit out the rest of the season. It's the first time that God has ever been disguised as an agent. And finally, this just in, Dolphins running back Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, fed up with being sued by basketball's all-time leading scorer, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, says, okay, that's it. I give up. And has changed his name to Larry Zonka. For Imus in the Morning Sports, this is Warner Wolf.
What up, Al?
National Football League. 2 overtimes and 3 other games decided on a field goal with 4 seconds or less. In Kansas City, the Chiefs, after falling behind with a minute to play, beat the Broncos 24-22 on Pete Stoyanovic's 54-yarder on the last play of the game. KCFS Mitch Holtis.
A 55-yard field goal tried by Stoyanovich. A line drive kick, and it is good! 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 Just over the crossbar with no time left. Pete Stoyanovich. Pete Stoyanovich for president.
And talk about a money drive, down by 8 with 5:48 to go. The Cowboys went 97 yards for the score, hit for the 2-point conversion, and then won the game on Richie Cunningham's 42-yarder with 4 seconds left. KVIL's Dave Garrett.
42-yard attempt, angled to the left, Bjornsson to hold, Hellestrate a snap, this to win the game. Snap, ball down, kick in the air, has the distance, it's good. The Cowboys lead 17-14 with 4 seconds left.
He sounded like he had the Cowboys in game 6. I mean, come on, get excited, man. One of the great finishes in football. The Giants made it 6 of the last 7, beat the Cards. Steelers made it 7 of the last 8, beat the Bengals. 49ers 10 in a row and win the division and break up the Saints. 2 in a row in overtime, beating Seattle. And in the upset of the year, the lonely, winless Colts, 0-10, 12.5-point underdog. Beat the world champion Packers 41-38 on Kerry Blanchard's 20-yard field goal the last play of the game. And where else? Only on the Imus in the Morning Show, the only radio show in the country, would you hear a sportscaster say, take the Colts and 12.5.
Well, it's not like you predicted the Colts to win, no, outright.
Come on!
Did you pick him to win?
Come on, what do you want?
Did you pick him to win outright, yes or no?
I said...
Did you pick him to win outright, yes or no? The answer is no. It's 26.
Hello, everybody. Hi, all tonight. This is Alan Freed, the old king of the Moondoggers, and it's time again for another of your favorite rock and roll sessions as you enjoy...
Imus in the Morning.
Where do the new Arizona Diamondbacks and Tampa Bay Devil Rays, where will they take their players from? The 28 teams, slim pickings from the existing teams. When it's all over, both teams will be filled with 35 guys who are either over the hill or were never on the hill. Result next year, even more offensive records will go down the drain. There's no pitching to go around. You want more home runs? You got it.
Okay.
You want more RBIs?
Yeah.
You got it. That's it.
Sure.
Water it down. What is a 291 hitter with 21 homers, 92 RBIs worth today? Almost $7 million a year.
Oh, man.
The Diamondbacks have signed Royals shortstop Jay Bell, 5-year deal, $35 million. Ernie Banks has just announced he's making a comeback. NFL last night, Dolphins beat the Bills 30-13. Marino 18 for 24, 234 yards. One of the biggest games of the year coming up Sunday, Cowboys and Packers at Lambeau Field. At last night's sports conference, Packers coach Mike Holmgren was asked if he could explain Green Bay's upset loss to the previously winless Colts.
Well, I could be fined for this, but all week I kept thinking about the Imus brothers, I-Man and his brother Fred, possibly buying stock in the Packers. So now that we lost, maybe he'll think twice.
We're going to fine you.
We got Rich Little on this day.
We're going to fine him. You're fine. We're going to fine and suspend Warner and beat him with a rubber hose. Almighty.
Oh, man.
Jesus God.
No way.
I mean, who did Joey help you with that? Joey.
I don't know, Joey.
Oh, so good. What? Here's a good idea. Go introduce yourself. Warner Wolf, here at the Arizona program.
Just because I want to be just like you, you're my idol. I was there at the museum yesterday. Did you see me? I was the one in the cowboy hat and the boots and the really, really tight jeans because I want to be just like you. I think some people thought I was you because I even signed a few autographs. I signed Get Out, Don Imus. And a couple of the people were disappointed because they thought I was Gene Autry and not you, but I don't care. I pretended I was you, and I went outside to the hot dog man and I ate 5 hot dogs. And then I told the hot dog man he couldn't suck enough.
If your radio like sucks in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
And he said he was going to call the cops, and I said, I'm the I-Man, go, Joe. And then the cops came, and I said I was you, and I showed them pictures. I took her to Rocks in the Park where I live, and they gave me your address, and so I'm going to go over there now and pretend I'm you and go upstairs and wait for you to come home. Deirdre and I will be waiting for you, I-Man, so don't be late.
The jumper in the left corner and hit it. And Jeff Van Gundy is pulling his hair out. Gus Johnson obviously referring to a different coach.
Yeah.
Right? Watching another game or something.
Yeah. Gus, I don't know.
Before 13,000 snoozing fans in Milwaukee, the Bucks and Pistons apparently forgot the shot clock has been in effect since 1954. It was 14-13 at the quarter, only 20 of 31-29 at the half. The second lowest halftime total in the history of the NBA since the clock. And the Celtics made it 4 in a row, beating Toronto 122-109. Howard Davis and Cornbread Maxwell.
Phillips quickly into the forecourt. Pulling up for a long jumper that is good, and a foul is called on Demon Stoudemire.
Oh, was that pretty, baby? Shake, bake, foul.
Cornbread Maxwell is
That's
his
right,
name?
Cedric Cornbread Maxwell.
Cornbread Maxwell.
Say, Cornbread, could you hand me that chicken leg over there, please?
Cornbread Maxwell. A chicken wing Jefferson. Watermelon Wilson. I mean, what is that?
Poor man's
Crazy.
Walt Frazier.
Get out of here. So, it'll be interesting to see which material Warner will be using tonight on Channel 2. The sports comes on Channel 2 about 6:18 Eastern Time.
Yeah.
And if you're on the satellite, you can watch it any place in the country.
Right.
On WCBS TV, Channel 2 here in New York, when it is. It's about 6:18 sports comes on, right?
About
6:19?
6:22. They
Oh, that
moved
late?
it down. Yeah, they moved it down.
Oh, they did?
And they moved the 11 o'clock down.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only 2.5 minutes at 11 o'clock.
Well, that's crazy. You know, only have one team here in New York to report on.
That's
So
right.
how much more time would you need?
That's right. What do you need for 19 teams and all the score? That's right.
We want more news and less time.
That's it.
No sports,
Less
idiots.
sports. God.
So will you be using the Montreal Expos guy tonight in your sports?
If we had him
What
on-
material have you
Yeah.
done here this morning
Well,
that we can expect to see on TV this afternoon, this evening?
Maybe we'll have new stuff, you know. Or the
bands around my ankles for a game of show and tell. Now the plaintiff says she can identify what I did expose. Ain't it just my luck? It's got a hook, just like her nose. Wish I wasn't such a sucker for that female pulchritude. I didn't that night, but now years later, I could end up screwed. Sportscaster got off easy, cause justice tipped its scale. Though he would've gotten off a lot more often had he gone to jail. How bizarre. How bizarre, how bizarre. Go, baby, you're making me crazy. You're making me crazy. Every time I look around. 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 It's in my face. Stick it in my face. Stick it in my face.
That'll be enough.
Stick it in my face.
It's 26 till the hour.
Want a piece of that championship? Put it in here. This is the game of the heart. Focus and finish. Right there, Nation. Let's get this rocket ship going up now.
Sprint right, halfback, slow screen left on one. Ready? Flag QA! Flag QA, touch!
Don't run that over here. What the wrong with you? That time, we have 4 plays to get 2 yards, and we're not getting We got to know what's going on. We got to lay it out. We got to lay it out. Let's pick it up.
Well, we got to run, I'm telling you, it sounds crazy. It's an 888. Deep down the field when we get a pass interference. So you think?
Flag safety dog. What the hell was that?
What the hell was that?
Who threw up these plays?
They're dying out there, Tom. They're dying out there. No! No! No!
Calm down. Hey, Daniels, what the hell you doing out there? You gotta run up the damn football field. Don't dance around. That's horrible. I can get some girl to do that. Those girls on the sidelines can dance.
Get down that sweet. You just stand there, Bill Fire, when it's going like his ass. Okay, fellas? Hey, fellas, this is what you work all season for. This is why you live for all them weeks.
Your complete source for NFL news, notes, scores, and highlights. We'll give you the NFL, the whole NFL, and nothing but the NFL. This is the NFL on JFK. Welcome to the second hour of the Redskins postgame show.
It was a great day to be a Redskin.
You know it, baby. Kicking the Bears' ass and taking names. 31-8. I'm not happy. Should have run it up even more. Throwing a couple there for the Vinmeister. By the way, the Ravens lost today. We'll have highlights of that game. The Redskins a winner. They are now 5-4. More importantly, they keep pace with the Carolina Panthers, who also won today in the chase for a possible wild card spot in the NFC. Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys playing this afternoon. Redskins pull within a game now of the idle New York Football Giants for first place in the NFC East.
It was a great day to be a Redskin.
31-8 was the final today. Redskins all over Chicago. A game really not as close as the final score would indicate. Redskins jumped on top 14-zip after one, 24-0 at halftime. They shifted into cruise control in the second half. Gus threw for 2 and even ran for a touchdown today. Terry Allen, the man is absolute money in the bank. Ran nuts today, did not score a touchdown, but had a big 30-yard scamper in the opening drive. Over 100 yards for Terry Allen in the opening half. Big key to that Redskin offense. Bob Dahl back in the offensive line. Terry Allen ran a lot over Bob Dahl's side today, and that's where he gained a lot of yardage. Skins, by the way, now 5-1 with Terry Allen in the lineup. 0-3 when he does not play. Tells you something. Even Norv said, nice to have number 21 back today in Chicago.
It was a great day to be a Redskin.
We'll have highlights of that game.
Team saves, but on the next, a different result.
It's a 2-on-1. Trying to get back, Brendan Witt. Over the line, here's my kick-out score. Michael Pekka has put the Buffalo Sabres on top 1-0 on the Sabres' 30th shot of this hockey game.
Mecca's third of the postseason from Dixon, Ward, and Vaclav Verada at 13:04. But before you finish soaking, Washington pulled even.
Here's Tenori, centers one, take it and scores! Lightning quick, this game is tied up. Dominic Hasek has been beaten in a brand new hockey game here in Buffalo, tied up at 1 apiece.
Aces third at 13:26. Give the helpers to Mark Tenori and Kelly Miller. Miller with a huge effort along the boards to free the puck to the defenseman. Shots the middle frame, 15-10 Buffalo. Sabres coming up short in the second, especially on a 5-on-3, which was brilliantly killed off by the Capitals. Speaking of advantages, Caps had one, and Brian Bellows found himself near the net with the puck. Oh yeah, the Dominator was there too.
Juno to the near side corner, centers one. Oh, feed the far side, saved by Hasek.
Brian Bellows was absolutely wrong.
In third, little-used Paul Cruz made his presence felt on the score sheet at the 7:40 mark.
Pressure now for the first time of the period by Buffalo. Back to the point, quick shot, saved by Kolzig. It's Nichols and it goes in. It got by Kolzig after the save, and the Sabres have taken the lead.
Bob Bogner and Wayne Primo the assist. The goal was Cruz's first in the playoffs. Caps would get a little frantic, and Hasek would get a little lucky.
Capitals trail 2-1. Here's a giveaway. Gotcha, reach up the flank and hit the post. Peter Barbara tipped it by Hasek, and he rattled the iron. Now the Sabres ice the puck. And Hasek not only is good, he is also lucky tonight.
And at 14:01, the Capitals' hard work would pay off.
Nicoletian centers one. Tenori up on the play, lost an edge. He went down, still to the corner. Now Nicoletian battling for the puck. Great screen, Johansson. Kept it alive, off the wall, far side. Hasek playing it over there as well. Nicoletian centers one. Back up. He scored! It's a power play goal, and the Caps have fought back to tie this game up at 2 apiece. It's new life for Washington here in Buffalo as Bonsai ripped the twine.
Wanderers 6 from Andre Nicoletian. That goal after a couple of questionable no calls that went the Capitals' way. And look at give Torres. Shots in the third, 13-7 Washington. The momentum was switching into the extra session where both goalies were great. One save in particular was a bit more memorable than others.
And the Sabres out to center. Over the top line. Quick shot front side on Kolzig. Gets the mark. Rebound. Oh, save by Kolzig. He stopped Jason Woolley to keep this game going.
As Ole went side to side in a hurry, and a bit later on, the Capitals would make history.
Loose puck at center. Give away to Juno. Waits Rhodes to get onside. Now gives to Bellows. Bellows walks in on the back end on Hasek. Tries to stuff him. Hasek made the save. Loser front. Let's go! The Caps are going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Joe Juno has scored the game winner in overtime. And look out for the Stanley Cup Finals, because here come the Capitals for the first time in franchise history. Can you believe it? The Caps are going to the Stanley Cup.
Juno 6 from Brian Bellows and Adam Oates at 6:24. What a finish as Caps outshot the Sabres 5-3 in the OT. But we're outdone 41-38 overall. Doesn't matter. They're golfing, and the Capitals are in Detroit where we